Right. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be our singles storyline. Okay, so definitely starts out. This may or may not have anything to do with romance. Who knows? We'll just see where it takes us. We're going to start with one oracle deck, but I don't know. I suddenly feel compelled to start with. Oops, sorry, I've got that deck backwards. I also feel compelled to start. Actually, some of them are backwards. Okay, that's what's going on. I want to start with some precious minerals, gems, crystals. I just feel like that would be nice to begin. Okay, what did we get? We've got amethyst. Very nice. So I mean, obviously the amethyst is known for psychic energies. It's known for intuitive powers. It promotes calming of the mind. It also supports us during life transitions and changes. It enhances dream retention and meditation. And it is associated with the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. So it says it also cleanses the aura and chakras. So interesting, because it seems as if this might be a really great time for the singles out there to be focusing on not only healing, but also listening to their intuition in this storyline. So, kind of a fun way to begin, yes? The idea that we've got this beautiful healing energy of the amethyst, and we've got this kind of potent, especially about dreams. The idea of dreams are perhaps important because, if it promotes calming and like meditation and things like that, we may be getting in touch with something that our subconscious is communicating to us. That's very nice. So maybe some of the singles are really in a psychic strength. Are you kidding me? It seems like every time this card ever comes out, which I think I've only ever had it come out in 2 different readings before, but it's always surrounded by like a ton of other cards that are like this. Like it fits so perfectly together with, the psychic stuff and, just intuitive. I really want to use the word intuition. Or that's what I feel like I want to use, even though the word psychic is written twice on these 2 different cards. It's shield, talismans, and gold light. So again, we're talking about some of the singles out there maybe really focusing on, moving into healing. They feel drawn toward, different forms of like active meditation or shamanism, or, maybe even the fact that I wanted to pull out of the precious gems, minerals, and crystals deck first is kind of interesting, right? Because I don't usually do that. I think I've only ever used this deck maybe once or twice. So we're getting some kind of rare cards and rare pulls here. So I don't know if some of the singles out there are really like interested right now in diving deep, doing some personal like soul searching, thinking about themselves, the gifts that you possess, the fact that you maybe are highly intuitive, maybe very empathic. That may be something that our singles are becoming aware of, and maybe that's why we're single right now in this storyline. If someone is single because they have some work to first do on themselves, in this case it may be an awakening. It may be becoming aware that, oh, I realize why certain people have gravitated toward me in the past was maybe because I exude some kind of like healing vibe, and I have intuitively been drawn to people that I knew like needed some of my gentleness, my kindness, my attention. This could be becoming self-aware through this thought process, if that makes sense. That's very sweet. That's very nice. Okay, where is this taking us? Where for the singles, what are we being drawn to then in this storyline, right? Page of Cups. We're being drawn to truth. And I love this because this card says a lot of different things. It's about being a really great active listener. It's about everyone has a truth to tell. Even people that are not telling us the whole truth, sometimes you can still figure out where the truth is, or where the grains of truth are, and where there's other things that don't make sense. If this is a fresh start, this is a new beginning, this is an apology, this is a new love offer that comes in, but this is a moment of truth that I think we're listening to our inner self. And because we have a goldfish in the teacup, I have to say, I have a feeling that for some of these singles, they have way more abilities than the environment that they're in. Because a goldfish in a teacup, that's not a big enough pond for this fish, right? For some of you, you might be feeling like, I think I want to do more. I think I have skills that actually outmatch where I'm at currently. I think I have an intuitive drive to go into some other area of life. Maybe it's career based. Maybe it's whatever it feels like that I want to go ahead and do. I'm listening to my inner guidance on this. Now, I may also be meeting someone and I intuitively know that this person, there's a lot more to them than what I think there is. Or you could be hearing something very important from a person who is unexpected that comes into your world. This is a very intent conversation. There's a lot of truth here, and it's unexpected. It's like this could be a moment of clarity that comes from like an unexpected stranger, and you're like, that's weird. How did I end up having this conversation in this day on this moment with this person? And it's kind of like, I kind of knew this was coming. You know, there's this interesting thing, but it gives us a sense of it marks the start of a new journey, because the Page of Cups is a new journey. It's a new beginning. It's a new this could be a new romance. This could be someone where everything lines up just right, that we unexpectedly meet someone, and maybe we're sitting there waiting for the bus and sitting next to somebody, and we have this moment where we communicate with this person. And it's like, wow, this moment was meant to happen for us to have this dialogue and this moment right now. And there's some kind of like very interesting turn of phrase or something that somebody says where it's like, that's a moment. That's a moment that marks a new beginning of something in my life. And I can think back to that moment now. It's because it's something that's true and it's sweet and it's kind. We have an 8 of Swords and we have a 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. We're letting go of all the times that we haven't listened to our little, you know, angels. And please know that can be whatever you perceive that to be, your guides, your intuition, your angels, however you prefer to think of intuition. What we've done is we put our little guardian angels in a bird cage and weren't listening for a while, but you notice how we're already just about to completely open up that cage and be receptive to what our intuition is whispering to us to do. And we're letting go. We're not holding ourselves back. I feel like all this has to do with, we've been holding ourselves back. We see, you know, a fence here. We see a bird cage here. We see, you know, this little tiny goldfish in a cup. All 3 of these cards talk about being held back and the fact that we're overcoming it. But first we had to become aware that we were holding something back, that we were holding ourselves back. Somehow there is this lovely, maybe the person we're going to have a conversation with is ourselves. Maybe it's our inner self, our inner voice that is having this communication with us. But I feel like it could be someone external to us. Could be a water sign, a fellow like emotionally intuitive, sensitive individual. Doesn't have to be. But whatever this is, it a light switch goes off in us and we go, you're right, I have been playing it small. Or you're right, I do have more intuition that guides me through life than what I've given myself credit for. Because I think that everybody kind of does know, but we bury what we know underneath layers of, you know, fear, guilt, shame, remorse, you know, social construct, you know, all kinds of things. And we keep telling ourselves, well, there's no way I can achieve that. You know, that I'm not the person who can achieve that. People like me can't do that. And it's like, yeah, people like me are exactly the ones who do that. People who believe in themselves, people who, you know that if I am walking this earth, it is because I am meant to be here and I am meant to use every gift I possess, my thoughts, my intuition, my communication, my hands, my, you know, incredibly creative brain. All those things are my gifts and I can create whatever I want with those gifts. This is very empowering, but I feel like we keep getting really cool singles readings. They're rarely about romance. I notice it's like it's always about like singles that are on some other major journey in life. We have this Judgment card in the reverse. We're not going back to exes. We're not hoping for exes to show up. We're not going back to an old way of life, an old way of thinking. We are not calling up It's not, hey, how you doing, 2001? Can you come see me? No, there's no past years behaviors that we're bringing into our current or into our future. That is one of the things. We're not trying to reconcile any lost time, any past relationships. We're not writing goodbye letters to exes. We're not, having to do any of that because it's already done. We're already moved into the future. And we did it with simply, I want to say we did it with simply, it's like taking off a gigantic coat that we didn't need to wear on a hot day. We're not even worried about it. We've moved into a warm climate permanently. I don't even need that big heavy cloak anymore. Let that be donated to somebody in a colder climate. Like that's kind of what we're doing. We're starting to, like, I want to say, radiate more heat, more creative energy, and so we don't have a use for the things of the past anymore. We have a 6 of Pentacles and we have a 9 of Wands in the reverse. And every day gets better. Every day gets easier. We're not hanging on, stressed out and worried about things. We're not afraid of, like, what if love cuts me? What if this new person who there's a sudden spark? I feel like this is somebody who must really, like, if it's a person we're talking about, it's somebody who maybe they compliment you on something that's unique to you, and you're like, wow, I can't believe this person saw that about me. I mean, yes, I am an artist, but how did this person, like, look into my soul? How did they see that about me? Oh, because they're in my vibe. And that's really what this is. This is about equal give and take. This is, again, we see teacups. Tea is a major thing. So the tea represents a truth, right? We have the Libra scales on this teacup. We see this little person, which, again, I would almost, in this reading, I would almost equate that, like, with the little guardian angel who's, like, stepping on the edge of the teapot going, like, yes, keep speaking your truth to somebody that understands, somebody who can reciprocate, someone who is a match for you. You've got great ideas. They've got great ideas. They know they hear what you're putting down. They're picking up what you're putting down. That's what I get here. If this is a foray into romance also, it very well could be. And it's really nice because this feels organic. This feels comfortable. But if this is a romance, it's more than that. This would be the kind of person that you can have, like, philosophical conversations with, esoteric conversations with, that go on and on and on, all night long. We can talk for 12 hours straight. We can share ideas. Could be any gender, could be same sex, could be opposite sex, doesn't matter. But the bottom line is, more and more truth keeps spilling out with the company of this particular individual. It's basically like your intuition is now leading you toward a person that matches your vibration instead of people that needed your vibration, if that makes sense. And that might be the title of this video, because I feel like that's a really big message. When you're realizing that you used to attract people that needed your vibration, but not ones that matched you, it gets a lot easier. And that might be the truth. Maybe somebody says something exactly like that to you. They ask you, are you single? And you go, huh, yeah. And they go, well, you know why you're single, right? And you're like, excuse me? And they go, well, like, you got to have somebody that matches you. Like, what are you doing here? You're not going to meet people that match you here. And then it turns out they match you. So you did meet somebody right where you were at. But it's almost like someone can clearly see that you maybe hadn't noticed these gifts that you possess, but someone else can see them in you. And it's interesting that it's a moment just where you're awakening to some of this, that somebody else, like, says it to you, or they look at you and you realize, this is a match. This is the person that vibes the same way I do. It's interesting because they encourage you, whoever this person is, they're encouraging you to really, like, step forward into all of that beautiful intuitive energy that you have, and to kind of go with the flow, and to feel really comfortable and not blocked off, and not feel like I'm going to have repeat cycles of the past. It's almost like you're way beyond the cycles of the past at this point. It's very, very beautiful energy. Let me just change decks and go one more time. I feel like we need to keep with some. Yeah, I think this deck. I just want to know a little bit more about this person's. Sorry, we just lost it. What is it? It is the King of Coins in a blood red shirt. This is the foxiest King of Coins out of any deck I have, by the way, in my opinion. But I love dark hair, so This is my favorite. And he looks so chill and cool and calm and laid back. This is somebody who's stable and grounded, somebody who is a hard worker, but also can chill out. And there's a lot of substance. Remember when I said it's like somebody you can have hours of conversation with? This is the person who has hours of deep conversation. You can even see they're like chilling in this kind of like open air, like coffee house type place. And they're engaging. They're fully aware of whoever they're having conversation with. They focus, they listen, you're heard, you're seen. That is a beautiful, beautiful change of pace, perhaps, especially for somebody who has been intuitive and has possibly been continuously helping other people to heal and not getting much in return. Like I said, you used to match with people who needed your vibes. Now you're matching with someone who actually is in your vibe. That's what this person is. This person's stable. And this person is as bold as you are. They may have no difficulty that red is a leadership color, right? They have no problem saying what they really think. So it could be, I feel like this is all about having conversation with someone. And I only say that because the T is here, right? So deep conversations with someone who actually speaks the same language, of like thought processes that you do, or can, banter and can keep up with you and have that kind of communication. But this is someone that you're building more ideas with. This is not just like, okay, I'm going to sit here and tell you my life story and have you nod and be empathetic to me. This is none of that, because we're not talking about the past. We're not upset about the past. The past is not a part of this. These kinds of conversations are constructive conversations that keep lighting up your world, that keep giving you new ideas. Very, very beautiful. If that's the kind of person that we are gravitating toward, that's the kind of person that we are asking to come into our life. And that's the kind of person we're like, I feel like we've half dreamt of this person showing up and then we meet them. It's exactly the perfect balance here for who we are and where we are in our process of like allowing ourselves to recognize certain truths about ourselves, to set ourselves free of confinement, to not hold back, to not feel, sometimes it can seem sassy to be like, oh, in the past, I always met people who just wanted to take some of my strength because they didn't have the same strengths that I did. So they'd come toward me because they wanted to kind of feed off my strengths. And that might have been something that even if we knew that happened, we were like, well, I'm not going to say that out loud because I sound like, I'm all that and everybody wants a piece of this. But it's like, well, but if that's kind of what I'm realizing some of this was, and it's interesting because someone else may say those exact words to you, like, well, of course you're single. You're strong. You probably attract a lot of people that want some of your strength, but they're not able to reciprocate. And you're like, wow, somebody said what I've been thinking, but I didn't want to say out loud because I felt like that was too like egotistical or something. It's like one of those kind of exchanges. So I don't know if that'll make any sense, but interesting storyline, interesting set of circumstances. I love the fact that for once, we're not trying to make peace with the past because we don't need to. We're beyond it. That would be like, I need to, call up people that I knew in like second grade and, tell them, hey, I'm sorry for that day on the playground that I, ate your sandwich, half of your sandwich or your whatever, your fruit snacks. We don't think to do that. So why would we have to go back in time with almost anything that is already done? It's a closed chapter. Even if it was semi-recent, we've moved beyond it the same way we would have if it had happened in childhood versus adulthood, because we're shifting into this new version of adulthood for ourselves, is I guess what I would say that looks like. So anyway, as always, these are just stories. I don't know if there's anything about it that like gives you a grin or some new food for thought. I am not a psychic. I do not pretend to be. I don't give people life advice. I don't do any of that. And that's super important to me because what I am is a storyteller and I'm proud of that. The art of storytelling is really important to me. It's something that I think is super fun and it's entertaining, but sometimes it's also cool because we interact and it's like thought provoking at the same time. So please just remember, this is never about you personally. It is always about a story. But if there's something you like about it, awesome. Please do give this video a thumbs up. It helps my channel survive and continue to grow. Please do consider subscribing. Of course, to subscribe is free. My whole channel is free. And if you're new here, welcome. Also know that every day at midnight, I put out a video that I call my today's topic. And if you're watching that series, you can also always enter to win a free read with me. I do give away one every single week to a subscriber. So just FYI, now you know. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that so many of you popped by tonight. That's awesome. Miracle, magnificent, beautiful, way beyond the past. That is awesome. Musky Brewster, thank you so much, sweetheart. That's an awesome comment. Thank you. Hi, Renee. How are you, honey? Martin, I send you hearts right back. I am delighted you got time to visit in this live session also. Thank you. I'm sorry that I can't pronounce your name, but I'm honored that you're here. Is that Arabic? It looks Arabic to me. That's beautiful. Where in the world are you? I'm always so delighted that we get to connect from, as isolated as we can be, we can still connect at least through the internet. And I think that's so wonderful. And I'm particularly delighted when I get to, see where everybody is from, because travel is huge to me. It's so important to me. And so I especially love when we get a place like this that we can all kind of hang out, even though it's all virtual. It's really cool. 01 Freck, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thanks for being here. Absolutely amazing to have you guys pop by. Hi, Jazzy B. Good to see you, sweetheart. You were the first in. Donald, awesome. I thought it was interesting too. I liked this one. Oh, VS, how are you, honey? Sherry Shaw, hello, dear. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your guys' beautiful comments. Vicky Moss, hi, sweetheart. All right. And Candace, you're here too. And Worth, I haven't said hi to you in ages. How have you been? Worth, that is a terrific comment. I love that. That's so, you guys have such fun. I love the people in this community. You guys are so much fun, and you have witty comments and intelligent comments, and the way you interact with each other is so sweet. Oh, that's adorable. Really, really nice, you guys. I love your guys' wit. That's really fun. All right, everybody, take good care. Have a beautiful evening. Sharmala, I'm sorry, I'm just about to say farewell, but hello and farewell to you, my dear. I'm glad you popped by. All right, you guys, take care.